so cool, Brewster.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You won and I died.
I'm feeling woozy, yeah.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
How's it hanging, Phil?
What's the prime time, bitch?
Come and get it. So either put the gun down now or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree. Let's get this party started, Dana. Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
So let's talk horror. So today we are joined by some of our very good friends right over here. I got it right this time. We have Anna of What a Ghoul Wants. And down here below us, we have Torian and Durden of That's the Fucking Trailer.
Hello.
So let's go ladies first. Anna, can you tell us how you've been doing? Can you tell people that haven't seen you what you do over at your channel?
Yeah, so my channel is What a Ghoul Wants. And lately I have been doing a lot more vlogs of me shopping for movies, going to thrift stores, stuff like that. And then I also have a series that I've been working on. I just dropped my second episode not too long ago called Redemption Rewatch, where I'll watch a horror movie that I was not a fan of the first time I saw it to kind of give it a second chance and then let everybody know how I feel about it on the rewatch. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Awesome.
That is awesome. And I got to say, we are going to strongly disagree about your Insidious video, but I am here for it. So Torian and Durden, can you tell people a little bit about what you do over at That's the Fucking Trailer?
What do we do, Durden?
Tell them.
Why do I have to tell them?
Because you're better. Go ahead.
Well, now that we got that out of the way. All right, over here at TTFT, that stands for That's the Fucking Trailer. We came up with this idea to do this show about film things. We're two guys that are very passionate about what we do. We're from the 80s, 1983. Shout out, whoop, whoop. Don't age ourselves there. And we grew up on movies. Everybody was playing sports. We were watching film, so we decided to do this show. And we decided that not only we're going to it wasn't just going to be a podcast. We wanted people to understand that we were going to reach out and teach them about film and bring on cinematographers and people who aren't necessarily A-listers, but they have so much to do with film. And we started interviewing people, and we do our little skits and everything. So it's really like a genre what we created. TTFT is a genre. It's not a show. It's what's happening, man.
See,
Sure.
I love it. Awesome.
So I do also want to say, if you are not subscribed to this amazing lady or these amazing gentlemen, their links are down in the description. So make sure that you are giving them a sub. Make sure you're following them so you can stay up to date on everything they're doing. And I also want to say, and this is something very personal to me, 1986 blows 1983 out of the water. Bam.
Oh, wow.
So,
and a sucker. Generation X. All right, here.
So let's catch up on the chat real quick before we get rolling here, guys. Hey, Dawn, how you doing?
Hey, Dawn.
We got Courtney. Hey,
Hi,
Courtney. Shaheem is here.
Hey, Shane.
What's going on, buddy? Russell, what's up, everybody? I smashed that like button. Everybody else
Awesome.
should do
Hey,
the
Russell.
exact same. Nathan's here.
Hey,
What's up,
Nathan.
buddy?
What's up, Nate?
I'll go ahead and say The Boy and the Gallows did not need sequels. We
might talk about that.
We may talk about those. Oh man, Lewis is coming in hard. Pet Cemetery
Thanks,
2,
Stranger
Fright
Monkey.
Night 2, Howling 2.
Oh.
Let it go.
Man, oh, D October's in here. What's up,
Hey
Anna?
D, what's up?
Hey, Louie.
Clintonville
Ken would
slasher,
agree
all
on The
right.
Exorcist. Listen, I can't get into that yet. So, Charles, thank you for the donation. He says Candyman.
Hey.
Yeah, man,
And now,
go
for
wild.
those of you that are new here that don't know, whenever we get a donation, we get pretty happy around here.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Thank you, Charles. We appreciate it so
I
much.
love that.
Man, we got the chat is popping. Thank you guys so much. Russell just subscribed to you guys. That is awesome. Thank you, buddy. You are
Yay.
not going to be disappointed. I Love Movies
you.
did as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Everybody check out the Ghoul, too. I follow the Ghoul from my personal account. So if somebody weird came into your like little stream, it was me. Yeah, we'll see it later.
Now every single weird person that comes in there, she's gonna be like, "This must be this must
good
be
looking
Tori.
weird.
It's gotta be."
Good looking weird. There we go.
Good looking weird.
Okay, thank you.
John Delicious, how you doing?
Hi.
And if this is your first time here at Sledgehammer Horror, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so that way the YouTube gods are a little bit nicer to us. So we are going to start off with our honorable mentions. Now, in my case, I can't even speak for Ashley. In my case, I didn't do anything that was a remake. If it was a remake, I didn't count it. I did strictly a sequel. If you included, I mean, some of my movies had remakes.
Prequels? Did you do any prequels?
I don't think I did any prequels either.
Okay.
I may have, but I don't know. I'm kind of lame. But I did do no, it's a sequel. Okay, yeah. So for me, I did all sequels. But if you guys did any remakes or anything like that, that's totally fine. Just wanted to let you know, in my opinion, I only did sequels. Do you have any? Does anybody else have any honorable mentions?
Yes,
I got two.
I got two.
I have one.
Okay. So you want to start us off with your honorable mentions?
All right. So hear me out. Okay, so my honorable mention is Pet Sematary. And it's not because I hate Pet Sematary 2, because I don't. I actually like it. And I'm not mad that they made it. But I feel like Pet Sematary would have been okay. Like I would have been fine if it would have been a standalone movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of hard for me to come up with my list. So like I love Clancy Brown in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really fun movie, but it's not the first one.
Sure.
And that was my very first ever horror movie. So it holds a dear place in my heart.
If that was never made, though, we would have never had that moment where Clancy Brown came riding up to I Want to Die just like Jesus Christ with the shit-eating grin on his face right before he smashes the semi full of oranges. And I love that movie. We're starting off on real
For
bad
me,
terms.
For me, there's nothing better than watching Mr. Krabs eat mashed potatoes going, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
That's the best for me.
Yeah.
Trying to rob us from all of this beautiful thing, all these beautiful things.
So, Anna, you said you do not have any honorable mentions?
I don't. Like Ashley said, this was kind of hard for me. I was kind of surprised. I was like going through different franchises in my head, like, well, actually, I'm okay with these sequels or whatever. So,
That's how I felt too.
Yeah, I couldn't come
Awesome.
up with any honorable mentions. So,
Nope, run it. How about you, Durden? What's your honorable mentions?
I love film, but ironically, I found out there are a lot that I could have done without. My two honorable mentions are Scream, because they jumped the shark with that, and I just wish they would have never done that. And this is a preemptive honorable mention for Hocus Pocus 2. And my argument is that Hocus Pocus 2 shouldn't exist because Hocus Pocus should have never existed.
Oh no!
That's
You can't say that in front of Ashley.
That's
You can't
horrible.
do that.
Yeah.
It's my wife's favorite Halloween movie, but I'm Halloween Town. Hashtag Halloween Town.
No,
Stand up and show 'em.
Ashley, I'm team Hocus Pocus. So yes,
You done fucked up, Aaron.
Hey, that's for Pet Sematary 2. You take away my Pet Sematary 2, I take away your Hocus Pocus.
That's not even fair. Like that's not equal.
Right.
Not in my book.
All right.
That's definitely not equal, but I feel like we're mean that in two different ways.
Okay, so I had two until he stole one of them, which it was Scream. I just really feel like once you do something so classic like that, I don't need to revisit it. Not so soon. Don't cash grab me. It wasn't an original idea, but it was still something new for us, and it was just like, man, damn, let it stand for a little bit. Let it breathe a little bit. But I had to go with here my Zombieland 2.
That was forgettable.
That's the problem. The first one was such not only just a cult classic, it made so much money as well. People, well, you got the rules, you got this, you got that, and I was like, I know they waited a while to do it, but goddamn, we had Bill fucking Murray in the first one. Yeah, I just leave it there, man. Let him live, or let him die. In that case, I went over to the chorus. I just played 18 with Jimmy. Just let him go out there. So when they made that second one, I was like, man, I'm not gonna go see it. I went and saw it. I wish I didn't. So yeah, I wish they would have just kept it at the OG version.
See, and I'm gonna say here real quick that Bill Murray is my all-time favorite actor, so I agree with you. When they shot him, I was like, "You heartless, gutless mother." So I definitely get where you're coming from.
Over dramatic, long.
I was in the theater like, "No, how could you?" And then he's like, I was like, "Okay, you've won me back, Bill."
It took him forever to die.
Because he's adorable. So my honorable mentions, my first one is going to be the Amityville Horror. I think that I like the first one so much, and I really wasn't a big fan of many other ones in the franchise. And then this other one is an honorable mention because I actually do have a soft spot for the third one. But Sleepaway Camp, I would have been totally fine if Sleepaway Camp would have just been a standalone movie. The third one is not bad. Like it's comical. Like I get entertainment out of it, but I would have been completely A-okay if Sleepaway Camp would have been just a one-off. So before we get started with our actual top 10, I want to go through the chat real quick. Troll did not need a sequel. I think we can all agree on that. Hey, what's going on, Dawn? Thank you for stopping in. My two honorable mentions are American Psycho and Anaconda.
Okay.
I have a feeling
Especially that second
maybe,
one. Hell yeah.
we may be talking about those.
Yes.
The Crow needs a solid sequel. It is getting a remake, so we'll see. Hey Maya, it's been a while. Oh,
Hey,
can't
Maya.
stay long, but it's been a while.
Hey, Maya.
Aw.
Nice to see you. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 doesn't need to exist. I can't argue.
Let him live, man.
The Ring didn't need a sequel. Oh fuck, here we go. Team Halloween Town.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Ashley
about.
Love
Parker. He Park.
All right.
He's cool.
I've had enough of this. Scream 2 is better than the original. I love Zombieland Double Tap. See, now you lost him.
Yeah.
He went exact. It's the exact opposite of what I said.
I put T. Parker Evans' comment on my list for sequels that shouldn't happen. I should have just stayed at the first one.
That's great. I haven't seen any of those. The third one's okay. The second one's not that good, but the third one's more like just a campy, fun movie. Lake Placid did not need a sequel, and I agree. So since you started us off with your honorable mentions, I'll start us off with my number 10. It's already been in the chat. So, real quick, Mud, see you, buddy. Have a good night, Gavin.
Oh, bye, Gavin.
Be safe out there, buddy. So my number 10 has been mentioned in the chat, and that is 7 Days, The Ring. I don't think that The Ring needed to be continued. I think that The Ring is the first Ring is very good. The second Ring is very not. And the third one is just completely forgettable in every sense of the word. So for me, coming in at number 10 is The Ring.
Nice.
Which is kind of weird because I guess you could go Ringu on this one, but I'm just going to go with the American The Ring.
Yeah.
What about you?
America.
I'm number 10 already.
Yeah, because Anna didn't have number 10. That's why we circled.
Okay, I get it now. Mine's American Psycho. I don't even know why that movie is called American Psycho 2. It really has nothing to do with the first one. And I feel like they just like seen some things that like kind of were like the first one. They're like, oh, let's just call it American Psycho 2. And it should have been called something else, honestly. It's unnecessary, in my opinion.
That 70s massacre was already taken, so
yeah.
They had.
I wish it would have been that 70s massacre. That sounds
American
fun.
Psycho is a really good one. I mean, that's a great one for the list. I'm mad that I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Rules of Attraction.
I'm glad we agree on something.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say right now, if anybody has Nightmare on Elm Street on their list, I will walk the fuck out.
Ooh.
If anybody has Nightmare on Elm Street on the list, we are walking the fuck out.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What movie was it?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, yeah, no, we're good.
Okay,
we're good.
He's like, all right, my number 10 is a Nightmare. How about you, Anna? What comes in number 10 for you?
No.
So speaking of the big franchises, actually, I was kind of going through all of them in my head, like, well, which of them would I be okay, like, just not having any kind of sequel whatsoever? And I came up with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just because I love the original so much. It's one of my favorites. I'm okay on 2. 2 is fun. But I just think that as far as the first one goes, just matching the same energy and like, we don't really need to know more about the Sawyer family. I don't think. I think we get all that we need in the first one. And just kind of recreating the aesthetic and everything. And that's what I love so much about the first one. So I'd be like, you know what? I'm fine. Get rid of the rest of the franchise and just have the original.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I was always down with 2 until I had my feud with Caroline Williams. Now,
Your
now
feud?
I hate the movie.
Wait, what?
Well, she
Oh my
did.
You didn't hear about that?
He brings
No.
this up every time.
I'll call you when this is done. I'm not going to talk about it on here, but
Oh my
got
god,
into a
I need
little-
to know because I
All
love
right,
Yeah, I got
her.
that.
I guess I got something to do after this now.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
After this is over, I'll tell you guys about it when we're not on air because I just don't like the drama and airing dirty laundry. But
Oh,
me and
yeah.
Caroline Williams had a bit of a dust up, so
Oh, my God.
Dust up.
we'll leave it at
I
that for
love it.
now.
Little ballyhoo.
She,
I'm
she tried to
shook.
show. Yeah, she had to throw some shenanigans my way, and I came back with a.
Super
So-
Troopers. Wait, what's the name of that? What's the name of that restaurant? Super Troopers? Shenanigans? No,
Shenanigans.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Oh.
Oh.
All right,
You should check it
Dirty,
out
you want to
again.
give us your number 10?
Paranormal Activity. I just
Ooh.
don't. I saw that. Yeah. I mean, do I have to explain myself on this one?
Not really,
No.
but I
Not
like.
really.
I feel like the movies did that for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Now, I don't want to contradict myself here, but if Scream had a sequel, then it would have been called I Know What You Did Last Summer. So the movie that should not exist is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. If you still know, I don't give a fuck at this point. Kill me if you can't catch me. I'm alive. So yeah, that's my number 10.
Listen,
Yeah, that-
if you're going to take away Mr. Krabs eating mashed potatoes and be upset about it, but then you're going to come here trying to take away my Rastafari and Jack Black, we're going to have problems, man. We're going to have problems, man.
They did. They did.
So I got to say, I love Rastafari and Jack Black, so I can't let that one
We
go.
didn't save the movie,
That's
man.
The only thing you liked about
That's the
movie.
only thing I liked about the movie. I was like, oh my God, Jack Black, he's
Just
Rastafarian.
get the bobblehead and burn the movie, man.
For
Get
sure.
the bobblehead, burn the movie.
So those are our number 10 guys. Real quick, we're going to catch up on the chat, and then we'll get to Anna's number
I know
9.
somebody's feeling me in that chat.
American Werewolf in London doesn't need that awful.
Oh,
that had a
that
sequel
was
to it.
fun. Yeah, American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in
Oh.
Paris.
Paris, yeah, the Paris is the
Huh.
Tom Everett Scott.
Huh.
It was good.
I didn't even
It was
know.
fun.
I didn't know that movie existed. We don't have to talk about that one ever again.
You're
The
such a
Omen and The
liar.
Howling are two franchises that should not exist. Hold on. Oh, if you're saying like after the first one, I agree. But I really like the first Omen, and I actually really like the second Omen too. But The Howling, if you're saying that we don't need a Howling, I love The Howling. Are you just saying we don't need sequels? Because I can agree. Please sub, like, and share the stream. Dawn, thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hope everybody
Sure.
does that as well. 10 Jaws. Ooh.
Yeah, good one, Dorsey.
You're going to need a bigger list because we're going to talk about that one again, I promise. The collection needs a third film. I agree. Trust me, here in the future, we're going to do horror movies that deserve another sequel. That'll be on there, I promise.
That's a good list, yeah.
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer didn't need to happen. Oh, are
Thank
we
you,
back on
T.
this?
Parker. Shout out.
Listen, T. Parker, I love you so much, but come on. Can we finally agree on something? The Boy did not need a sequel. I think I'm in the
bigger
minority
boy.
that likes it. I like The Boy 2 more.
You do?
Yeah, the one where it's actually the doll and it's not the boy in the walls. I like the second one more than the first one.
Oh.
The first one was
Ooh,
dumb.
that'd be another.
No.
Are there any sequels that are better than the original?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
47
I like
meters
that.
down. We didn't even watch that one.
Yes, we did.
The second one?
Oh, that's not the second one. No.
Yeah, so we watched the first one and we were like, that's cool. Then we see the second one. And I was like, oh, that's not fun.
No, that first one gave me anxiety.
I know.
don't like that kind of stuff.
Prom Night 2 was great.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fisticuffs. Yes, it is. How you doing, CCG?
Hey.
Urban Legend did not need that awful sequel. I
I
feeling
love
also-
Urban Legends Final
I was
Cut.
waiting for it. I was waiting
I
for it. I was
love
like,
it. It's so fun.
The Blair Witch and the
Early
Crafts didn't
2000s.
need sequels, in my opinion. That's fair.
Mhm.
For the channel guys, favor to ask. This is Sean Sheridan. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
The movies, the layer. As for the question, Texas Chainsaw Massacre for certain others and the remake, every sequel has been crap and pointless. Thank you for the donation, Sean, and hit me up on social media. I'd love to promote your channel and get you on here and talk about your first horror movie. But before we do that, guys, we just got a donation, so you know what that means.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby is right. Thank you, Sean. And it's nice to see that. And I love the fact that you have one of my favorite slashers as your picture. Just want to throw that out there. Although he's uncredited, Jack Black's. Oh yeah, he totally did. Totally did.
It's going to be the Jack
Again.
Black show.
I
It's gonna
mean,
happen right
he
there.
stole the show. It wasn't that much to steal,
I-
though.
Right,
He
right.
got away with
He
nothing.
walked in the store and it was
Yeah.
open.
He got water from the water fountain.
I like the Don't Breathe sequel a lot.
I was worried that I wasn't because I thought they were gonna make him like a good guy.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah, I liked it. Like, I didn't think it was bad. It had great performances in it. I loved some of the kills.
Yeah.
It
Whoever
made me
said
feel
Blair
really
Witch,
bad.
I disagree. Blair Witch 2, I think, is better than the first one. And I know
Oh,
that
God.
opinion is not popular, but
Oh,
I
my
really,
God.
really enjoyed
No.
it. I'm
That
a
is-
huge
that
fan
is-
of Jeffrey Donovan.
Oh.
Canceled.
It's at the top of my
All
list.
right,
It's at
all
the top of
right.
my list.
No, that's what I love about this. Everybody has their opinion, no matter how wrong it may be. So, all
them
right,
again,
guys,
man.
we will get back. We will get back. Oh, hey, me and T Parker. Oh my God, I legit think this is the first time me and T Parker have agreed on anything ever. So this is
Good
monumental
luck, man.
for me. God, that's awesome.
Mhm.
All right, so Anna, would you like to start us off with your number 9?
Yeah, so this is one we have already talked about already, and that is Sleepaway Camp. And pretty much for the same reasons you said, Ken. I don't know. I felt like the first one okay. I think it's fine as far as camp slashers go. I just don't have like a lot of nostalgia attached to it. And so the second one, I was like, oh man, I don't really get why people like this one. And I could have kind of just done with the first one. I never saw the third one, so maybe I should watch that one since you said it is fun. But yeah, I don't know. I could just do with the first one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that I am one of the people that has a lot of nostalgia for it. Maybe the idea behind the the LGBTQ stuff in it doesn't age very well. But
Yeah.
we got to remember that this was forced on this young man, young woman.
Mhm.
This wasn't like they made a deliberate choice to do what is happening in the movie, and it wasn't handled the best back then. But what I will say is, and I will die on this hill, the original Sleepaway Camp is better than the OG Friday the 13th, and I will die on that hill that Sleepaway Camp is better
I've
than
never
Friday
seen
the 13th.
Sleepaway Camp. I've never seen Sleepaway Camp. I guess I'll have to
It's
check
so
it out,
good.
eh? Okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
so good.
For sure.
Would you like to give us your number 9 though?
Final Destination.
Mm.
Just because the first one was so good, and it seems like everything that followed, it was like a store version, like a Bobo brand version. Like the first one had a signature to it with Devin Saw and Seth Green and what's his name, Busey. It was just awesome, and the other ones weren't necessary. They could have just been any other movie. I like the concept of Final Destination, but it got too crazy with the lore as the sequels went on.
That 3D one went hard. I love the 3D one. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Hard in a good way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was there any other way?
nah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
I will say this: in a couple weeks, we will be doing our Final Destination franchise ranking live on the channel. And I will say, number 1 is not my number 1. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And
I know which one it
you guys
is.
you guys need to tune in because I show a huge plot error in part 2.
Oh gosh.
That I know I thought she's we always rewatch the films, and on a rewatch I was like,
I-
wait a minute, and she was like, Ken, it doesn't. I was like, no,
He's grasping.
I'm not grasping.
Guys.
Okay,
Ooh.
I'm not grasping, and I
Is it like your plot
in.
hole from Cabin in the Woods? Because I thought that one
It
was pretty
is.
good. I
it-
never
it-
noticed that before.
it's-
Yeah.
it is a
This
lot
one-
like that.
I don't know,
Okay.
this one's kind of grasping.
All I'm gonna say, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I timed it, guys. 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Yes, just like me in bed 6
I
times.
was like, why are you telling
2
people that?
minutes, 13 seconds. So remember that number: 2 minutes, 13 seconds.
I will remember.
Tune in for our Final Destination franchise ranking. Torian, you want to give us your number 9?
Yeah, somebody put it in the comments. I'm going to go right to it, and only because the franchise, I can't even call it a franchise. Jaws too, because to me, just from a practical standpoint, I see the first movie. There's water, there's a shark, there's a boat. It's great music with great score, and the shark dies. It's dead. It's gone. It's supposed to be dead. It should be gone. And now you want me to come back for the number 2. Let me see. What are you going to add? Water, a boat, a shark. Is he going to die this time? Is this Zombieland? Is this Pet Cemetery C? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That 3D one went
Man,
hard.
F that,
though.
man. Universal Studios is the only thing good about Jaws after the first Jaws. Okay, the ride.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Jaws 2, or should I say Jaws 2? Spit back to Chunk.
Legit. So we haven't done our number 9 yet, have we?
We have not.
So my number 9 is a newer film. It is a Blumhouse film, and I am gonna go with Sinister. I think that I'm excited for if we can finally get in Sinister, the Insidious and Sinister crossover we've been promised. If that can happen, I'm very excited to see what they do with that. But I am gonna say that Sinister 2 is just not fun for me. I think the first Sinister is great. I think it has genuine jump scares. I loved how they filmed on the old cameras. I love the grainy feel. I love Deputy So-and-so. I think he's awesome. There's just so much about the first Sinister. Ethan Hawke obviously just absolutely demolishes that role, makes you feel like that writer that's trying to grasp to get back to his glory days. But I didn't get any of that from Sinister 2. And the only reason to even watch Sinister 2 was Deputy So-and-so. You know, I think that he did a great job, but besides that, the movie lacked huge in what the original did for me. So number 9 for me is Sinister. What about you, my love?
So my number 9 is also Jaws. And it pretty much is like copy and paste. It's called Jaws 2. Like, how unlucky is this town? Like, why do they keep getting attacked by this big shark? And why does the shark have revenge on them? Like, what? Like, the sharks are taking revenge
They
now?
typically don't even like eating people. That's the crazy part about it. Like, who did the research, man?
Yeah. So and like you see him a lot in this, and like the suspense is gone because you know, I think part of the suspense is not seeing him, you know. So yeah, I felt like that was pointless.
I think that's a big part of what you're saying too. Not seeing Bruce the Shark in the original and the OG was a huge part of why that movie was so damn scary.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good call. Good. I didn't even think about that.
Slow reveals are always the best in horror films. The less we see, and then that moment you get like, oh shit. Oh, you see
your imagination goes.
Yes.
And Steven Spielberg made that deliberate choice because he looked at it. It was like, this thing is
not going to work.
But how do you go about making a sequel for a Steven Spielberg film and not be Steven Spielberg? And like,
I don't think Steven Spielberg wanted anything to do with that.
Well,
He
did
was
you
like,
guys?
nah,
You
I'm
guys
good.
know that they actually showed this movie at a screening, and one person told them it wasn't scary enough. So Spielberg went and shot the whole underwater part with the shark tooth and the jump scare in his swimming pool in his backyard. They filmed that scene. That's what makes Steven Spielberg. They're like, it needs a little something. One person said this, and he was like, I got you.
He was
everybody,
like,
my pool.
That's practical. That's practical, right?
Yeah,
I like that.
That's amazing to me.
And insane in a good way.
Yes. Oh, Shaim's coming in tough.
Tales from the Hood. I saw it. I saw that.
Tales from the Hood needed better sequels. I can't disagree there. I'll always know what you did last summer. Yeah, is dog shit.
Jack Black.
Shaim's canceled.
Shaim is canceled.
Dr. Giggles needed a prequel. I could fuck with that. Dawn, it doesn't matter that you're late. You're here. Thank you for stopping in.
For sure.
See, I wasn't a huge fan of the Gate 2. I really like the Gate a lot. I don't think the Gate 2 is bad. I don't have the Gate on my list, so that shows that this movie didn't like. I didn't think it was dog shit, but I didn't love it. I agree. Nathan's saying you got to check out Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp, got to do it.
I'll do that.
Hey, health wise, I'm a bit iffy, so the channel might be slower. Hey, dude, take care of yourself.
Yeah, for
health
sure.
is way more important than YouTube, my friend.
Absolutely.
So make sure that you're keeping yourself healthy for your friends, your family, your puppies. Make sure you're keeping yourself safe out there. I'm with Ken. Sleepaway Camp over OG. Man, I like it. Usually people don't fuck with me.
Honestly, I think it's more entertaining.
I will say this. One of these is my favorite in the Final Destination franchise.
I know which one it is. I know which one it is too.
I don't know which one it is.
Oh, boom.
I bet I know your list.
Ballsy ending. Ooh, I like ballsy endings. Does it make most people unhappy? I like this.
Listen, nobody spoil it.
Yeah.
Nobody spoil it.
Yeah. You got to go in this one blind.
Yep, this is one you have to go into blind.
The ball's ending.
Hey, we got a donation. What's up, party people? Big shout out to Anna from What a Ghoul Wants. She's putting Peddler's Mall on the map.
Yes.
And it's about that time, y'all.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
And if you want to know what Loki's talking about with the Peddler's Mall, you can find all that out by going to Anna's channel, subscribing right down here, and checking out her vlogs. You can see exactly what Loki is talking about there. Jaws 3, Jump the Shark. Oh, Dawn. No. Halloween 3 is one of the best in the franchise. You're killing me.
Maybe she meant 8.
It just didn't have to be Halloween 3, though, right?
Huh?
It could have just been. It could have just been Season of the Witch. It didn't have to be Halloween 3.
Exactly.
It could have
I've
just
said that
existed on
numerous
its own.
times.
It should have never.
I think it would have been better received. Yeah.
It would have been.
I would have gotten
If
sequels.
people-
It could have been built on so
People
much.
wouldn't go into it thinking they were going to get Michael Myers. I think maybe more people would have liked it.
Yeah.
Sinister 2 ruined what was so great about the original. Jaws, yes, they should have just did one. I agree. Jaws was a masterpiece. Steven Spielberg had his name removed from the film 3 O'Clock High for being too violent. Wow, I didn't know
I
that.
love 3 O'Clock High. I love that shit. Oh god.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man. We
Yeah, I'm just
appreciate you
thinking about
stopping in.
Schindler's List. That was pretty violent.
True that. Sleepaway Camp is so bad. Wow, Ice Cody. Hoary cow. I've never heard anybody say that.
Oh no,
I love the
maybe he
opinion.
meant like it's so badass. He just forgot to type that.
Oh,
That's what it was.
It could be. It could be. We'll get asked down here.
He's gonna-
anyway.
He's gonna come back around and say, "No, I meant what I meant." It's horrible.
Don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, so Durden, you want to start us off with number 8?
Yeah, that would be 28 Days Later.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, I just 28 Days Later. What Danny Boyle and I don't know. Did Danny Boyle do 28 Weeks Later? I don't think so. Right? Did he?
I don't think so.
It did. I definitely didn't feel like it. Like 28 Days Later felt like it was kind of like Final Destination, and it had its own signature that the sequels didn't respect in a lot of ways. They just.
It's like
Sorry,
hearing yourself.
I'm sharing our stream here.
You like hearing yourself.
Yeah. I would say no. No, absolutely. I would say 28 Days Later. That I saw the second one. It wasn't bad, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Right. See, and what I think is crazy is I think I'm not going to get into it because it's spoiler territory, but I think 28 Days Later has one of the saddest deaths I've ever seen on film. That's all I'm gonna say. If you can survive anything that happens and then a fucking blood drop gets you, that is so fucking
bad luck right
heartbreaking.
there.
I think
man.
that's the thing with 28 Days Later and Final Destination. Those two movies focus more on like characters that you really cared about, where the sequels were just more about this thing, like what it's about. And I don't really care what it's. I mean, I only care what it's about if I care about the people who are affected by it. And if you can't make me care about them, then
Develop those characters, kids.
yeah.
All right, so Torian, what about you? What's number 8 for you?
For all my 2000 kids out there in late 90s, no, it's all 2000 kids. I know you guys knew about this thing called Sharknado, but no, that's not where we're going here. But before there was Sharknado, when I in the 80s, 83, children from my era, we saw something that you guys all heard of. It was called Tremors, and I loved Tremors. Tremors 2, not so much because it spawned. Yeah, man, I love Bert. Bert, he's my Jack Black. Every film with Bert in it, I'd watch. But let me tell you something, man. It was such an original idea, and yet again, we never really saw them. They were underground. It's like the first horror movie I felt like I can watch it because it was based during the daytime. It wasn't really based at night, but I was scared shit. Like, oh shit, what is? Because something moves in your house, you think something's under the ground. So it's that mystique, and so I'm like, yeah, that's dope. And all of a sudden, it became metamorphosis, magma, and lava, and a cocoon. I thought it was gonna be a human in the last one. I didn't want that. Leave me with my originals, and I'm leaving it there. Tremors 2, out of here.
Well, that's quite disappointing.
That's how it's going.
So number 8 for me, fairly newer film, and I thought that when I heard this was getting a sequel, it really bummed me out. When I heard it was getting a new movie coming out in the next year or two, I got even more upset because 2 was not very good, and that is A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place to me was the perfect standalone film. It had everything. It was scary. It was original. It had great characters that you really cared about because obviously Emily and John being husband and wife, they really genuinely love each other. You have a father that would do anything for his kids. And when I see him say, love you, I'll always love you, and then sacrifice himself for his kids, like, holy shit, I wept during that scene.
John,
So
if you got John Krasinski off the record, he would agree with you, I believe. He didn't even want to make A Quiet Place 2, but the studio said, we're doing this with or without you. And he was like, well, then I'm not going to let you totally screw it up. I'll do my best. I'll do better than you can.
Yeah. It really bummed me out because I thought that A Quiet Place, I mean, the movie starts with a dick punch. I mean, like, it literally starts off punching you in the balls. So, and it ends with a pretty hard dick punch too. And like, I've been with a woman for 17 years. I understand that complete and total obsession love with somebody. And I've been with somebody that's had 3 of my kids. So I understand how painful that is for a female and how stepping on a nail and trying to keep yourself quiet while you're also giving birth. Like, there's just so much anxiety that comes along with this movie that just, oh man, it was such a good movie. And I just was not a fan of the sequel. It didn't have any of the oomph that the first one had to me, any of the anxiety, any of the feeling. I just didn't give a shit, really. I thought the second one,
they were trapped in that, like,
the burner, the oven
where
thing.
they didn't have oxygen, that kind
that
of,
was about it.
Yeah.
That was the only part of the movie where I was like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
Besides that, I was like, oh, where's John Krasinski? Can we just like bring him back?
Yeah, for sure.
So what about you, my love? What's number 8 for you?
My number 8 is The Exorcist. I think The Exorcist 2 is such a dumpster fire. It's awful.
But if we didn't have The Exorcist 2, we would have The Exorcist 3, which is the best one in that franchise.
I get that. Okay. But 4 and 5 are like the same thing. And I honestly could have done without those also. So, and honestly, Exorcist 3 could have been called something else.
No, it could not.
It could have.
No.
It totally could have.
I agree, Ashley.
Thank
So
you.
listen, if you called it like
So the guy's
Yes.
from the world of The Exorcist,
Yes.
maybe. But like, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, The Exorcist is not on my list because The Exorcist 3 is probably my top 10 favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much I love The Exorcist 3. Now, listen, The Exorcist 2 is literally the worst movie I've ever seen. Literally, I would rather cut off my ring toe than watch The Exorcist 2 again. I hate that movie.
It's a dumpster
But
fire.
as much as I hate The Exorcist 2, that's how much I love The Exorcist 3. I couldn't be without that movie.
It is a hidden gem for sure.
Couldn't be without that movie ever.
Yeah.
Anna, you want to give us your number 8? She's like, yeah, just for Ken, fuck you, The Exorcist.
Maybe later on my list, but we'll get there when we get there. So 8 for me is Silent Night, Deadly Night. So I do love the garbage day in 2. Like, don't get me wrong, that part's great. But I mean, 2 is basically just flashbacks from the first one. Like, it's over half of the movie is, you know, the first movie. So
We're talking about Matrix 4.
I haven't actually seen anything past 2, but from what I've heard, it's one of those things where you could kind of call it whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be in the Silent Night, Deadly Night universe or whatever. So I would be okay. You just have one good Santa slasher and, you know, we stop it there. But yeah.
And I agree with you. Because I love holiday horror movies. So now let's catch up on the chat real quick. Halloween 3 should have been named Sam Hain Season of the Witch. I would have been totally fine with that movie being named something different because Halloween 3 is so good. Now we got Fright Night. I'm not a huge fan of Fright Night 2, but I don't hate it. Gremlins, really?
Oh, no, hell no. Gremlins 2 is one of the best things that ever happened to cinema. Marketing.
See, I don't want a Tucker and Dale sequel. I think the first one is so good that I don't have any desire to move on from that.
I don't know how they could do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're 2 pretty unlucky dudes.
Which was amazing. I couldn't disagree more. It was amazing. Which one? 28 Days Later. Really? You like that more than like Dawn of the Dead? Even I think like the original Dawn of the Dead and the remake even was really, really good. Oh, I'm a bigger fan of the sequel.
I'm interested to know if there's anybody out there that actually likes Jaws 2 more than Jaws 1. I want to know that.
I would
person.
like to see that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns is like starting to blow up big again. I think it's
yeah,
awesome.
It really is.
I love
Like,
Killer
it's-
Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good,
Ever.
man.
You
Jeez,
see
yeah,
it
they need
everywhere
one.
now.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That movie's so bad.
I would like to see something with Sam.
If we did a prequel, maybe, but I
I want a
Trick or
backstory
Treat
on
so
Sam.
much. My Patrick Swayze is amazing. By the way, prayers go to yeah. Sorry, that's so terrible.
Oh.
Tremors 2 rules. I actually got to agree with you. I love Tremors 2. I think Tremors 2 is really, really good.
Where's the bacon? Where's the bacon? That's what you gotta have, Kevo, man.
He
he's
didn't want to do it.
He's John Krasinski now. If you're not gonna do it,
He's 6 degrees from somebody in that movie.
See, I didn't even watch Cabin Fever 2. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one, so
Oh, the first one was great. The second one was shit.
not a huge fan. Ooh, that's a good one. The Fly, very
Yes,
good.
that's
Now hold on, are you talking about the later remake or the OG? Because Quiet Place 2, more of the same. People paid for more of the same. Night of the Demons 2. I never seen Night of the Demons 2. Wow, Ken, that hurts. See, I didn't dig it, man. Like I could not get
Better than
into
the
it.
Original? Like that. Wow, that's bold.
Must not be huge horror fans. I mean, everybody's entitled to their
we're
opinion, bro.
wild. Because we're wild. Thank you. That's wildly amazing that you even spoke to us. Appreciate that. Man.
Dude, you have to see The Exorcist 3, Nathan, because you're a big slasher fan anyway. So I think that you should The Exorcist 3 is definitely more of like a supernatural slasher. So I definitely think that you should check that out. Yeah, you're right. I would have, because Exorcist 3 is one of the best ones in the franchise. I never seen The Messengers. Never seen the second one. Yes, The Exorcist 3 is tremendous. Dude, I don't like Trick or Treat, man. It's just no good. Like, it just really isn't. Like, listen, I love anthology movies, and there's one on my list coming up, but I don't like Trick or Treat. I don't know what it is. It's like Starbucks and The Big Bang Theory. I want to watch it, but it looks and tastes like shit. I can't do it. The brothers have been doing a sequel for years now. The brothers have been for Killer Clowns, the Chiodos brothers. That would be super sweet, man. Hey, Dice, how's it going? Thanks for coming in.
I don't know. They didn't bring me to the meeting.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, again, cancel Ken for not liking Trick or Treat. I'm sorry. I can't get into it.
Bruh.
Have you watched The Wretched, and what are your thoughts? I did see The Wretched. I believe we watched it on Netflix. I'm trying to remember. I remember liking it, but I don't remember much about it. I remember the long-haired. That's all I can think of right now is the long-haired monster-looking thing. That's all I can remember right off the top of my head. Do you remember The Wretched?
Is that where they're like in the woods?
No, that's The Ritual.
Oh,
That's all-
I don't know.
Have you guys seen The Wretched?
No.
Nope. We must not be horror fans. I gotta check it out. Where's this at? Netflix, cinema? Where do I get this from?
I think it is.
I got Fire Stick. I can get it. Marking it.
Yeah, Netflix.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know that we've seen this.
Oh wait, that's where is the boy like it goes to live with his dad or whatever?
Yeah.
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Okay. All right, guys. So we will continue here. Yes, Netflix. All right. So we are up to number 7, and that will be Torian starting us off.
All right. Somebody actually just said it, and I'm gonna go. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna flip it up. Jeepers Creepers 2. Why the fuck did they make you? I really love the first one. And again,
whoa, you like the work of a pedophile now?
oh, see, there you go. Not God,
Oh.
you gonna put me on the spot.
Yeah.
What's 9 times a million 9?
I don't.
Exactly. Back to what we were saying. Gotta throw them off here. But no, what I love. Let me rephrase this. I love the 99% of Jeepers Creepers, but how it ended to me, I really he made me watch. What's that movie you made me watch? Hereditary. I like. First off, that had me mind up since that girl lost her head. No pun intended.
Made by somebody that's never done anything with children.
And yet again, 9 million times 2. So he doesn't have that either. But Tremors, not Tremors. I'm sorry. See, you messed me up, man. Hold on. Come back to it. And I'm back. Jeepers Creepers. Like I said, I really loved it because it's something I really didn't know about. And then when something can catch my attention and bring me in, I like that. And so I just really hated the last scene. I mean, literally the last scene, because it's like you left me. I was undead. He was dead, but I wasn't dead. I don't know. I don't like it like that. But I hated that they made that sequel, because if you can't end on a good note, that doesn't mean keep going. It means you're done. You ran out of film. Stop it here. This is the end. Don't pass go. You're out of gas. So yeah, Jeepers Creepers too.
I feel you.
You?
Number 7 for me. This one.
He said, "Do you?"
Don't threaten me with a good time. For me, this one was kind of tricky because I do like the remake, but like I said, we're talking about sequels here, and I strongly believe Sissy Spacek deserved better than The Rage Carrie 2. So I'm going to go with Carrie on this one. You talk about a movie that I think, as a kid, I didn't truly understand this movie very much. I knew it was scary. I knew that I felt bad for Carrie, but I didn't totally understand the length of what she was going through. But now, as a human being that's gone through this more as an adult and that has daughters, that has a wife, these things, and even the remake, I thought Chloe Grace Moretz, even though I could never be tricked into believing that she was a bullied Carrie, she did a great job in that film. And Sissy Spacek I think was the perfect person to play Carrie. I love that film, and I just was not a fan of The Rage Carrie 2. So I'm going to say Carrie at number 7 for me.
Nice. My number 7 has already been mentioned, and that is Amityville. I did you already say Amityville?
I did.
Yeah. So I really like the first one. It has a special place in my heart, but they just go downhill.
I'm gonna steal your carpet.
Yeah, they go downhill from there for sure. It's like they take a haunted house movie and slap Amityville Horror on it to get extra attention or something. A lot of them are not good.
Well, I mean, and you talk about these movies, you got like the Amityville Karen.
There's so many. There's
God.
Amityville in space.
That's I'm not even kidding.
What the hell
they
is
have
this?
the Amityville house in space. They have the Amityville Karen, which is literally a racist white lady.
Yes.
The Amityville Karen. I'm not kidding. These are real things.
They're just taking this Amityville thing too far.
Right.
Hey, you know how they do Die Hard on a boat and Die Hard? Let's do that, but let's do it literally.
That's awesome. Good choice.
Thanks.
How about you, Anna? What comes in at number 7 for you?
7, I have The Human Centipede. So not that I love the first one or anything like that. I mean, I think as a concept, it's definitely a strong concept. But I think that you kind of, as much as we needed from the first one, we got it. I don't need any more, especially not something like 2. I couldn't even finish 2. I'm sorry. I've never seen 3. And the fact that it's the same director and he's just like, this idea is so good. We're going to just keep rolling with it and get more and more ridiculous. And
he's beating a dead horse.
No. Yeah, literally. Nope.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, yes, like you said, the first Human Centipede, I actually think that's more of an artsy film than anything. There's a lot of really beautiful shots. There's a lot of great scenery in that film. There's also, unfortunately, a lot of poo eating. But around the poo eating, there is a lot of artsy shots. So I will at least give you that. There's a lot of good artsy shots that comes along with this movie. What about you, Durden? What's your number 7?
I just want to say in defense of Human Centipede 2, and I don't like poo eating, just for the record. But to do the first one and not do a second one, that's the one sequel I think that justifies its own existence because the first one happened. Because the draw for me was if the first one was eating poo, what is the second one going to be if they have to take this a step further? Well, I need to see what that step further is just to see.
He did take it a step further. I will say that.
He definitely took it a step further.
He tried to do the meta thing, which I guess I could kind of appreciate, but it's not for me.
No.
I could.
I just love how you started that off with, look, I don't like poo eating.
Just to be clear.
Because usually when people say stuff like, look, I'm not racist, they usually follow it up with something super racist.
But
so I was waiting for, look, I'm not into poo eating.
But have you tasted? No.
Right.
it came out of you. It's yours.
Right. right.
But have you seen Two Girls, One Cup? I'm just
Oh
saying.
my
They
god.
took that off of YouTube 3 days ago. Oh,
Did they
I knew
really?
somebody was going to be disappointed. They didn't. I just outed you, sick bastard.
No, that's an art house film.
Oh,
All
for
right, my
fuck's
number
sake.
7 is I would say Candyman,
Good job.
and not the remake. The remake is great on its own, but like Candyman 2 and beyond just got crazy, and the quality just dipped. And they weren't
What
necessary.
do you mean? It became Final Destination.
No, the Final Destination, I think the budgets got bigger and they
No,
got
I'm
more
saying
impersonal.
Candyman. They did so many of them. It became Final Destination. My guy, that's Candyman. Final Destination. Death is coming for him.
yeah.
He just
He
went on to another.
crossed
He just
over.
crossed over. To
Yeah.
the other, it's another side of that wall he lived in for all those years. That's the other part of it.
So when he goes in the wall, he goes to
He comes
become a
out into the
foreigner.
Final Destination
Yeah.
land. That's what I'm saying, man. It's weird, right?
I've seen this somewhere before. Hold on, I hear someone saying my name. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Shit,
So
never mind. It
let's-
was just the 3 times. This
That's
time.
Beetlejuice. My bad. I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, it was Beetlejuice. All right, guys, we will catch up on the chat real quick. Jeepers Cheapers 2 is good. 3 is a piece of shit that should never even be mentioned.
Okay.
I
Okay.
agree to disagree. Creep Show is fun, and Creep Show 2 is amazing. I just want to throw that out there. The Rage Carry 2 is so bad, it's bad. I agree. Resolution and its sequel, The Endless, are fantastic. I have not seen those, so I could not give my opinion on those. Carrie. Oh, listen, the first one didn't even need to be made, if we're being honest with each other.
I saw
The
those
only
out.
good thing about those movies is Mark Holton. Okay, he's the best part of those movies. Leprechaun in Space talks shit about Detroit, so take that shit personally. Amityville Horror was good. Part 2 was okay. The rest sucked. I like the remake.
The remake's okay.
Yeah, the remake
Fine,
was
normal.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, right here is a really easy way for you to
Oh,
subscribe
look at
to
that,
these
Don.
other 2 amazing
I
creators.
stole that
Thank
from him.
you,
I
Don.
stole that from him, Ken. Mwah. Don. There you go.
Poo eating.
Poo eating.
Exactly. Mud.
Beautiful.
Hi.
In terms of the Human
Swim.
Centipede, I really like the first 2. Both were very unique in their own space. The shots, and I agree. I think that it was done really well.
Yeah.
Terrifier 2 will be great. I'm telling you, there's going to be a one scene in this movie that is going to blow you guys
I'm
away.
excited.
It's going to blow you
I
away.
love Terrifier.
Yes, Terrifier is great. I can't wait to see what they do.
Mhm.
All right, guys. So I didn't like the original Candyman. However, it's been a very long time. See, I think the original Candyman is the only one that really
Same.
genuinely scared me. Like, that's the one that really got me, was the first one. But besides the rest of them,
But Devin, let me
Just
ask you this: Did you, if it didn't scare you and you didn't like it, did you say the name in the mirror 5 times? Because if you didn't do it, you did like it.
Mhm.
You didn't play that game. Did you play the game? Did
It's
you?
such a weird,
did it.
arbitrary role to set up.
Your poo eating is nothing weird and arbitrary.
all right, guys. So we are up to our number 6, and that will be you starting us off, my love.
All right, so number 6 is actually Blair Witch, and I think that the Curse of Blair Witch is horrible. We just recently rewatched it, and I was like,
Blair Witch 2.
yes.
Dude, like, we're watching it, and I'm like, oh my
I was like,
God.
now I remember why I didn't like this movie. Like, what did we just do to ourselves again? It's like you forget sometimes that things are bad.
Maybe it wasn't as
Mhm.
bad as I remember.
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of how it went.
Have you-
It's totally as bad.
If I may, have you watched it with the DVD commentary?
No.
Have you take the time to appreciate they sprinkle like little hidden messages that you could decipher all throughout it. There's letters that come up in different times of the movie, and you put them all together at the end, and it spells something real creepy and cryptic. And Jeffrey Donovan is so like charismatic in it. He's so crazy and all over the place.
Unless Jeffrey Dahmer was in there, I don't want to hear the shit, man.
I
You
have
let
to-
the people
Yeah.
speak. They hate it.
I
She
have to
hates it.
speak in defense of Blair Witch too. I
hated it. And
I will say this. I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Blair Witch 2, I will say this. It blows.
Ew.
No, I mean,
I feel like the first one worked because like back then you didn't have, all the internet and all that to look stuff up. So that scared the shit out of me. Like I really thought that was real. And then the second one came out and it just
What about the
Anybody that
soundtrack?
watches? Oh, the soundtrack was dope.
Soundtrack is good.
Soundtrack is dope.
Yeah, I can agree on that. Yeah.
I will say this, and this is me being completely genuine and serious. If anybody that watches my first horror movie, you know, my podcast knows that I've told the story before. When the Blair Witch Project came out, I remember being a 14-year-old punk rock kid, had green spikes in my hair, had my leather jacket with my Ramones patch on the back of it, smoking a cigarette in Sarah Tuckerman's front yard. Like, that shit's real, man. That's my cousin, man. They still can't find him. They don't know. You know, I was a little punk, stupid ass kid. You know, it's like, it's real, bro.
Word of mouth,
It's
and
real,
then
man.
everybody believes it.
You know, like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Take out your phone and Google it? Can't go to the library.
Yeah,
It's
for
real,
sure.
bro.
Go look it up
You
on
know,
that
like,
encyclopedia.
I just remember
Right.
doing that.
I
Like,
think
I was such a
Microfiche,
dumb
like-
fucking kid.
I
Like,
think Blair Witch 2 is a lot like Halloween 3, where if it existed on its own without trying to like capitalize on Blair Witch, it would have worked really well as just its own fun music video horror film.
It was
I
totally
said what I said.
video.
Could you slide that to just one half and just put like cut us? Thank you. I just look what you did us, man. Damn.
I think the thing about this, what I love the most about this is even if we all had the exact same opinion, this shit would be boring as hell. So I love the fact that you come out in defense of Blair Witch 2. Just like me, I will die on the hill that Jason Goes to Hell is one of the best in the Friday the 13th franchise. I will fight anybody about
Because
that.
that's the only one Freddy's in. I agree.
Hey, the Necronomicon's in it too. Okay.
Oh yeah, double
Um,
whammy. It's like, hey,
Do you want to get? You did your number 6. Anna, you want to give your number 6?
Yeah, one we've talked about already again, Carrie. And I will say I kind of like Carrie too, the Rage. I think that it does its own thing, which I appreciate. Like it's commenting on something a little more of the time as far as it being in the 90s, which is cool. But again, you could take off that moniker of Carrie and it could just be a girl with telekinesis. Like it doesn't have to be a Carrie movie, you know, because it really has
Right.
nothing to do with the original at all. And you know, we end up with Carrie dying in the original, and that's that, and that's fine. Right. So it's just like another instance of people trying to use a name recognition to get people to watch it, which I think it probably could have stood alone. But and that might be why it gets shit on more, is because it is a Carrie movie. But yeah, if they called something else, I think it would have been better. But yeah.
I'm just waiting for Durden to be like, listen, man, I really like that movie, and I think it could stand on its own. Okay, if you need to, go out and watch it again, and it spells out awesome face in the background. Okay, just go do it right now. All right, listen, I'll die on that hill.
Nope.
He's gonna pay.
Carrie.
He's gonna pay homage to Carrie.
Come on.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah. But Aunt May is not in that one though.
Oh, fuck.
Little double down callback.
Yep. Double down on me. You want to give us your number 6?
Oh, it's me?
Number 6.
Yes.
Halloween. And I like Rob Zombie's remakes, but I think Halloween, the making of it, the independent feel of it, and it was kind of like Jaws. Like I didn't get to see Mike Myers, Michael Myers. He would have been funny. I didn't get to see him that much, and I think with that one, less was definitely more.
Mm-hmm. They don't even have respect for your opinion anymore. You hear how quiet it is in the room.
Listen, I agree, except for I think that the only one that was really decent when it comes to the sequels is H2O. I think that's the best one in the franchise. So
that's like specifically what I'm thinking about when like I feel like they shouldn't have ever done anymore. Is H2O.
The first one you wrote down in your list.
that one.
H2O. Let's get that.
Right. How about you, Torian?
You know, it feels like deja vu. Blair Witch 2. That was listen. I've only thought about giving up film one time in my life, and I think it was when I saw Blair Witch 2. It's out of all the one, like, listen, yeah, you had the Freddy, you had the Jaws. Those were unique ideas. People had been killed before and all this other stuff, but it was not only just a story. Like people were really, put that down there, kid. People were really trying to decipher whether this thing was real or not. You had guys like him with the spiked green hair. I was across the street when he told that girl it was real. We've never seen her since. But seriously, no, that dumpster fire inside of us, rotten egg on Easter that's been buried in a time capsule that just came back from Venus before they discovered Mars. Is how bad Blair Witch 2 is. You understand? No, I have answers. No, we all of us have questions on how we all love film, but you're that one. Why you got to be that guy?
Have you seen Blair Witch 2?
With the documentary Terry on. Yeah, fucker. Yeah, so with that being said, he got to turn the lights, the sound. Hey, no, raise that up, raise up the contrast. You see that as a hidden fucking message. This is not Legend of the Hidden Temple. They should have gave up after the first one. So yeah, that's my number 6.
I like it.
See,
thank you.
My number 6, I don't think anybody is even, unless you're a big fan of ours, and I hate saying the word fan because that's really
He's puffing
fucking
up
weird,
over here.
If you're part of the family that we have here, you know how much this movie means to me, and that is Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back. I fucking adore this film. I think that this film is almost perfect, and it's a made-for-TV movie. Like, it didn't even get a theatrical release. And then you got Sometimes They Come Back for More, Sometimes They Come Back Again, and none of them had anything to do with the original. And I really think that this was one of the, probably maybe in my top 5 perfect films. Has a little bit of everything, it's a love story, it's supernatural, has great acting for a made-for-TV film. It really holds up there with It for me, when it comes to the made-for-TV miniseries that Stephen King did. Like, I put this above like The Langoliers and stuff like that. So I even put this above Storm of the Century. Give me what I want and I'll go away. I put this above that. So
what about Tommy Knockers?
Sometimes They Come Back easily. But to be fair, I don't hate these movies, but Sometimes They Come Back is my favorite Stephen King film. So there was absolutely no reason to give that one a sequel. So before we move on to you started this off at number 6,
I did,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Yep. Before we go back into that, Predator 2 has a special place in my heart. I definitely dig that.
Oh, okay. So they're saying, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Listen, it's not a remake. I just want to throw this out here. The new Blair Witch Project is not a remake. It is a sequel.
The 16th.
Yeah, the new one.
I
liked
that
it better
one.
than 2.
Yeah,
but then
for
again,
sure.
there's little I don't like more than 2. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop throwing jabs at you, Durden. I think the newer Blair Witch is very good. It's her younger brother going to find her, 20 years later. It's really good. I've never seen any of the Boogeyman movies, guys. Sorry. Devil was great. Devil is the best M. Night Shyamalan film. Hands down.
Well done.
Not even close. Love that film. Hot take, Psycho 2. Yeah, you know what? Psycho 2 is a very, very good movie. Psycho 3 is a very, very good movie. Psycho 4 is the only one in the franchise we didn't like. If Psycho would have been a trilogy, it may have been my favorite trilogy of all time. That's how much I like 2 and 3. I think they really, really hold up. I'm sorry, man. I love H2O. I love the ending. I wish that the franchise would have ended there with him getting his head cut off. You're going to tell me that was a paramedic that got thrown from the window and Mike, he sat up like Michael.
Yes,
Resurrection.
That's what the story said.
Listen,
it was a paramedic.
get
So
the fuck
clearly
outta here
that's
with
what
that.
it was.
Get out of here with that.
No, you get out of here.
Get-
It wasn't a paramedic.
And H2O is such a stupid fucking title. That's the worst title. Water. Terrifying.
Six. Who left?
Just ask the aliens from Signs how terrifying it is. Son of a bitch.
That's
Oh yeah, good. Hey, good call, man. Good call.
swing away, sir.
What's up, Michael?
Hey,
How you
Michael.
doing, buddy? Yes, please sub. The Grudge, The Ring, Pulse. I agree with you. None of them really needed sequels. Oh, I cannot wait for this. Dice. I will be watching that. I promise you. Unless you disappoint me, I'll be very sad.
Wow. Put on the pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. She's just be like, "Hi guys, this is my review for Sometimes They Come Back.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in." So, number 5 will be me starting us off at number 5, and it's been talked about, but Candyman. I've grown to like Nia DaCosta's Candyman. I don't think that it's a very good horror movie, but I think it's one of the best shot movies I've seen in a very long time. I can't wait for Nia DaCosta to finish up the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff that she's working on and come back to do more original horror. That is the one thing I really loved about that movie. I liked the story and I really loved the direction, the cinematography of it, but it just didn't have the scares that the original had. It didn't have the Helen. It didn't have those moments for me.
Mhm.
And that's what really turned me off about Nia DaCosta's Candyman. But I like the movie for the cinematography and the acting, but I could have really done with just the OG Candyman being it. I think that movie's good. It's very influential. It's very smart. It's woke back in 1993. So, I mean, I love it. I love Candyman, and I wish that it would have been a standalone film.
Nice.
What about you, my love?
It should have stopped.
5, right?
Yep.
So Texas Chainsaw Massacre is number 5. I feel like as a franchise, it's shit. The first one is awesome. It could have been just that one and done. Like, it's artsy. It's a beautiful film.
I would have liked 2 a lot more if I wouldn't have had beef with Caroline Williams.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that,
so
Tim.
I really can't wait to hear about that, honestly.
The Talking Dead.
Yeah, right.
so yeah.
Texas Chainsaw. I wish I would have put Texas Chainsaw on my list, but there's a couple in that franchise I do like.
Some are okay, but they're so few and far between. It's just like.
All right. So how about you, Anna?
5, I have one that no one's talked about yet, and that's the Descent. And I, yeah.
No, good call. Good call.
Especially as far as movies where the sequel picks up literally right where the first one left off, you know? So you're like, okay, you really have to go hard with continuing this story. And it was basically the same thing, except with characters I didn't care about as much, like save for the returning characters, which they did not treat very well. And I just think, you know, the first one, you captured the claustrophobia so well and the mystery of the creatures, because you just don't know what's happening at first. But once you know, like, what's going on, you're kind of like, okay, well, the surprise is kind of lost on me. And I just felt like they basically did the same thing over again. So, I mean, the first one's just so good in my eyes. It's going to be hard to top it, but yeah.
The first one is one of the ones that just genuinely, I felt severe anxiety the whole time I was watching that movie. Like, it had so many different things. You know, you had the backstabbing friend, you had the claustrophobia, you had the monsters, and the monsters were one of the least scary things about the damn movie. Like, honestly, you know, and then depending on where you've seen it, what ending you've seen, it's just, what a great movie. Great choice. I wish I would have. My other honorable mention is The Descent. So I just want to throw that
retroactively.
Yeah. Great choice, Anna. Very good choice. I would love to do a deep dive on that movie, me, you, and Ashley sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I would love to do that because I genuinely very, very much enjoy that movie. So I think we could have a great time with that.
Yeah.
How about you, Durden? What's your number 5 question mark? Yeah, 5.
I thought The Descent 2 was actually very well done. I think I enjoyed the way they expanded upon the lore, and you got a little bit more about how these things got down there and how they operate.
How petty of a man are you? Why are you doing this?
I just like to because to not say something feels like to lie. I'm a
every time I'm waiting for him to be like, have you guys seen it with the commentary?
He's coming back. I was get that out. Wait, go ahead.
A Quiet Place is
hidden letters.
I didn't need A Quiet Place too. And like nothing against Emily Blunt or anything, but I like John Krasinski was the draw for me, and he's the one that I don't know. A Quiet Place 2 just and it got bigger, and I didn't like that. What I liked about the first one was it was this very personal thing between a family, and then it starts expanding out into this. You know, you got these groups of survivors and stuff, and yeah, just made me asked me to care about too much.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I agree with you. It was on my list.
Yeah, Descent 2 is way better than A Quiet Place 2.
How about you, Torian? What comes in at number 5 for you?
How you follow that act? First of all, I want to say this is how bad this movie was, and I didn't even know it existed until like a few years ago, and I was just like, "Whoa, this is out there," and I wish I never found it. From Dusk Till Dawn 2. Blew my mind that it even existed. And I'm like, oh, this is why I didn't know it existed. And it's just, again, when you have Tarantino and you have a classic, you have Clooney, yet again, like we talked about it a few times, like we've all said it, that when you have the lore with the first one and you like where, I mean, it was a perfect ending. I mean, where else am I going to find a bar of vampire titties at in the middle of the desert? And, you know, it's cool. We're drinking. You got pastors up there with marked crosses and everything. And this Danny Trejo again, like, you know, so it's like, nah, you should have left it where it was at. Matter of fact, it shouldn't even, like we say, it shouldn't even been called From Dusk to Dawn the next day, or the Grand He's Risen, or The Devil Rises, or something. From Dusk till Dawn 2. Is that the best we can do? Just put a 2 there. Peace.
Well, what made From Dusk Till Dawn so great was that I didn't watch a trailer or anything before watching it. So the first time I saw it, it was like, what, 20, 25 minutes into it. I was like, oh, shit, this is a vampire movie?
Right.
I thought this was just like, you know, a shoot 'em up.
I mean, it turns into that, but that's what makes it so great. It's so many elements, and then they pull it off so well. It's just kind of like, don't just copy and paste. Have the courage to try to build on the lore. Tell us something. That's what makes prequels great. If you can't,
like,
thanks, man. Like, if you can't do it, don't cut me off.
Like,
look like too. Cut it out.
Like,
if you can't make a good sequel, be a good writer and make a prequel. You know, like you just said, tell a story from a different angle, a different perception. So yeah, I didn't. That's my number 6. What was that, 5? That's my number 5. Yep. 6.
To be fair, how many deserts have you combed looking for vampire titty bars?
2. The one from that one and the one from Spaceballs. Have you finished combing the desert? Man, we ain't found shit.
We ain't found shit. They got a fucking pick. Shut the fuck up. Just so good. All right. So we'll catch up on the chat real quick before we go back. Oh, this is Dice talking about her Sometimes They Come Back review. Ha ha ha. Funny, Ken. Funny. Furiously rewrite script for review. Joyride is underrated. Listen, Joyride should have been one and done. And can we talk about how the person, Rusty Nail, was the dude from Silence of the Lambs? Like, that to me, he's Buffalo Bill, is the one that did the voice of Rusty Nail.
Right. Yeah.
She's a big fat lady. You know, like, so good, man. See, I like Psycho 3 and I didn't like 4. That's crazy. It's nuts how that worked. How do we feel about the reboot of Hellraiser casting a female for Pinhead? Honestly, I'm open to it because if you read Clive Barker's book, they were asexual. They didn't have genders, and Doug Bradley came in, and it's all back in the original novel. And so I'm excited to see what they can do with this. Obviously it's a Hellraiser movie, and I did see that it got an R rating. So we're not going to have the family-friendly Hellraiser we all thought we were going to get, unfortunately. Dread Central made that joke, not me.
The family-friendly.
Yeah, but you know, I'm open to it. I'm more worried about it being a different actor in general. You look at the last couple Hellraiser films, and I think the big problem is you didn't have Doug Bradley. You know, but I think that the hardest part for me isn't the fact that it's a woman. The hardest part is it's a different actor. It's going to be very hard to do what Doug Bradley did, because Doug Bradley played the role of Pinhead so fucking well that it's almost an impossible ask to have anybody play that role other than him. It's just like, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Jackie did a great job as Freddy, but he'll always get shit on because he's not Robert. So I think that's the impossible ask for me.
Frederica Krueger, how would you feel about that?
Depends on if she's good looking.
Yeah, you can visit me in my nightmares.
Yeah, come haunt my dreams. Silent Hill 2 is trash. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my all-time favorite. 2 was good in its own right, but I could have definitely lived without every other subsequent film. I think 2 would have been better until I had my feud with Caroline Williams. Up until then.
Ken, did you feud with Caroline Williams at some point?
You guys didn't know? Oh my god, I got a story to tell you.
Just to be clear, you didn't want to speak about it on the air, correct?
No, right. Yeah, the descent. Good one, Anna.
Oh, thanks, Nathan. Yeah.
I miss my mom every day. She's literally right here. I loved her so much I burned her and put her in a necklace. So I get where you're coming from there. I would like a Tourist Trap remake. I know people hate remakes, but Tourist Trap could be a fucking dope movie if made today and done right.
I love Tourist Trap.
Texas Chainsaw 2 is the best in the franchise, hands down. I would agree with you, but at one point I got in a feud with Caroline Williams, and it really soured the way I feel about
this story. Wait.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. You know what? Rob Zombie's theatrical cut, I think I've grown to appreciate the Rob Zombie's Halloween theatrical cut. I hate anybody that knows me and Ashley knows I can't do sexual assault. I'm out. And when you do something in a movie so bad that it makes me actively root for Michael Myers, you fucked up. You know, when I'm actively like, Mike, get him.
I'm always rooting for Michael.
Right?
But especially in that situation. Kill him, Mike.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the one that like when and especially it's just so graphic and so gross. I'm not in. I am not in at all. Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Lady Shasha?
I'm so glad Lady Shasha's here. Lady Shasha is the reason that I know that's the fucking trailer. So here is our wingman, wing woman coming in to say hello. I'm getting the feeling you may not like Caroline Williams. Well, you know, I
Honestly,
did.
All I have to watch is like the first couple of minutes, like on replay, and we got the whole.
Right. I used to like her, but then her and I had this feud. Long story. Oh yeah, the Last House on the Left made me want to jump off a building head first. I wanted to be like, what was that? The other guys? What we do? Aim for the bushes. That was me watching The Last House on the Left. So now we're up to number 4, and that will be My Beautiful Wife starting us off.
Number 4 for me is Leprechaun, and honestly, I don't know that I love any. I mean, I guess the
newest one was probably the best
one. The new
one.
one is good, and the first one is okay, but really, I guess if you watch them all like right in a row, like we did, you get a little, you kind of feel for Leppy a little bit, like you kind of like the little guy, little shit. But yeah, honestly, there's none of them that's great. So yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, but if you can't find the remote, you know, you don't have to get up. It's just there.
Right. Yeah. Right. I honestly think the newest one was it not Origins. The one after Origins was dog shit. It wasn't even the newest one, the one that was the sci-fi one. That one was good. Yeah, like I really liked that movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest with you, because that one is a direct sequel to the first one. That's why Leprechaun's not on my list, because I think that one may be my favorite in the whole franchise. So I didn't even put that one on the list. So I'm going to have to run with that one for me.
Okay.
So Anna, you want to give us your number 4?
Yeah. This is one we've talked about a lot already, but the Blair Witch Project.
Ooh,
I think that's every one of us. Let's have that on the list.
Have you seen it with the commentary on, though? Is the question.
I did not. No.
Okay.
No.
Right. Just so we're clear.
That's just what I'm gonna start asking people whenever they say anything. Like, you know, I really don't like baseball.
No, see, it doesn't apply to every movie, Ken. It only applies to this one because they took the time.
So
Sorry,
it would change our minds.
Right. Yeah. I'll watch it.
It
will pay me, but I'll watch it with the commentary. But
the
yeah,
time and consideration.
I mean, I kind of liked how it started, which, you know, it's like directly referencing, you know, kind of meta, where it's like, oh,
but you already did watch it with the commentary. When you were watching it, didn't you say this shit sucks? There's the commentary. You watched it. There's the commentary.
Provided my own commentary.
Where did it lose you?
Where did it find you?
I guess when they started like going hard partying in the woods, and then it kind of derailed from there. Because at that point you're like, okay, yeah, they're doing the tours. That makes sense.
Nicotine,
Like
volume, Vicodin, marijuana. Come on, man.
Sounds like a party.
And then it was just like, wait, what's going on? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt too. Like, what?
Yeah. But again, like we said already, the original, you can't recapture what they did with that. Just it was so special, and trying to follow it up the year after, it was just kind of felt like it's just a cash grab. So
for sure.
I'm back, and I can honestly say it wasn't any better with the commentary.
So he didn't miss a thing. You didn't miss anything.
You watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Anything.
Dude, you want to give us your number 4?
Somehow speed watching. Yeah, my number 4. Look, I have no problem. Like, I think Psycho 2 is a good movie on its own, and the director, considering he was following up Alfred Hitchcock, who people consider the master of horror, it'd be like somebody like a new pop star trying to cover Michael Jackson. I think, with respect to him, he did a great job, but Psycho was just so good on its own, and I feel like if that's Alfred Hitchcock's story, like, don't mess with the master of, don't try to continue on his story. He ended it there for a reason. Don't disrespect that.
That's cute.
I knew it, man. They just still can't believe you. You
My
lost
thing
credibility
is,
mid-interview.
No, honestly though, seriously, honestly, have you watched Psycho 2 with the director commentary on?
I have not. No. You know what? You're trying to make this like it applies to every movie, and it doesn't.
You know what? I'm being genuine right now. If I could find the Blair Witch 2 in like the dollar bin somewhere, I might buy it just to watch it with commentary for you.
No. I'm not spending a dollar on that.
No. You have too many things to do with our lives.
Every time we bring this up, I just see Durden slowly being like,
"Eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill."
Thank you.
Every single time.
I feel the heat coming off of him. It is crazy.
I'm pinching my finger so hard. Right
Look
now.
at his list. He's reballed his list up. Show him your list. He's reballed this list up like 10 times. Well, I have a very nice, neat notebook brought to us by the good folks over at Blue Moon. Please give us a sponsorship. Thank you. All right.
Torian, you want to give us your number 4?
I'll try it. Right. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I do. To quote Childish Gambino, yes. To quote Childish Gambino, I'm too fly like Jeff Goldblum. Now, to quote me, I'm mad that they made The Fly 2. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you started out with Jeff Goldblum. It was such, like, literally, I'm into sci-fi and things like that. And back then, it wasn't about the effects or anything, but it was when the story and the acting and the effects all started, and it was next level. And I'm like, oh, man. Now, don't get me wrong. If not, every sequel has this problem. You can't build nostalgia in a sequel. There's no such thing. And this may be stuff you can't build original nostalgia in a sequel because you're always looking at, why did I love the original in the first place? So all sequels start down here. They got to build their way back up. So, well, hey, now that is one of the ones that, Ghostbusters 2, there are a few out there that break the rule, not Durden's rule, because you're acting like I'm saying it for every goddamn film. But no, I'm going to go and say Fly 2, they should have never did it.
Okay. I am not going to disagree with you.
Me neither.
Number 4 for me.
Friends out here. All right.
And a lot of people may be shocked this is so low on my list because this was not only my first horror movie, but this is my favorite horror movie. And gentlemen, as you know, Anna, as you know, this is House from 1986. And again, I don't dislike House 2. I don't think House 2 is a bad movie, but House is just, to me, it's everything, man. Like, it's a war story, it's a horror movie, it's a comedy. There's action sequences, there's love, there's romance. It's got a little bit of everything. My sister's an only child, and you hurt her. Come on, man, that's fucking brilliant. I love this movie so much. So you couldn't. I'm all about remakes, and even this is one where I'm like, no. Don't touch my fucking movie. So number 4 for me is House, 1986.
I will say, I think that House 2 is one of the best subtitles of any sequel. I do like the fact that it's called The Second Story, but
The Second Story.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the wordplay there was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like it.
Yeah.
But just like, I think the original House, like, that's probably gonna be my next tattoo. The finger, hitting the doorbell, like that's probably going to be my next tattoo. Like, that's just, and then
show them the guns again. Let the finger hit the doorbell. Show them the guns again. Let the finger hit the doorbell. Show them the guns.
That way, right there. So yeah, for me, definitely House. What about you, babe? Number 4.
Started.
Oh, you started? All right. Well, we'll catch up on the chat real quick. I wouldn't mind seeing a Behind the Mask sequel, for being honest. I would love to see that. The Babysitter Killer Queen. I enjoyed the original. Yeah, Killer Queen was okay enough. It wasn't great. House on Haunted Hill didn't need a sequel. Oh, Cody, what's up, man?
Hey, Cody.
Movies that should have never gotten the sequel. Jaws, The Exorcist. Oh, he said the exact same thing I did. I couldn't put it on my list, Cody, just because I love part 3 so much.
Or we
And
could have called
Hellraiser.
it something else.
Yeah. But thanks for stopping in, man. It's nice to see you, buddy. As a child, we're talking 4 or 5 years old. Leprechaun and The Exorcist terrified me to my core. I haven't seen the sequels to Leprechaun. The Exorcist is my favorite film. Like I said, I think The Exorcist 3 is the best in that franchise. I still think The Exorcist is the scariest movie ever made.
Yeah.
Maybe recently, The Dark and the Wicked is up there for me. That movie really scared me. But Leprechaun, the franchise is fun. I can at least say that. There's no movie except for In Space is the only one that I was like, fuck this movie. Besides that, all the other ones I at least had fun with.
Too, though.
Origins was pretty bad,
Yeah.
but it had Teach Grant in it, so that was cool.
Yeah, but once he died, it was like,
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh.
I agree, Lady Shasha. Eat Shit and Die, Eat Shit and Live is one of my favorites of all time too. Hey, what's up, J-Dev?
Hey,
Thanks for
J-Dev.
stopping in, buddy. Hey, happy late birthday to J-Dev, y'all. Couple weeks behind.
Happy birthday.
The Last Exorcism didn't need a sequel. It was supposed to be The Last Exorcism. So the part 2 was The Last Exorcism.
Again.
April Fools.
The lastest exorcism.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, Cody, I'm with you. I love House. It's my favorite horror movie. House 2, it's okay. It's got Lar Park Lincoln. It's definitely a lot more in comedy than House was, but I wouldn't. To me, House is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Great pick, having House. Can't argue. Not my number one, but great. Appreciate it. Love that film so much. I saw House 2, the second story, before I saw the first one. Probably made you enjoy the first one even more.
Some people like the
Happy
second one
birthday,
more.
J Dev and hi. Yeah, everybody's allowed to be wrong. So we are up to number 3, and that will be Anna starting us off.
Okay. Again, we're going to talk about The Exorcist. And I thought about this too, Ken. I know three's good, but I honestly would be okay. It's really good. It's really good. Very good. But like Ashley said, I'd be okay. Like, let's call that something else and totally erase 2 from the face of the planet and just stick with 1. Yeah, I watched 2 so long ago that I can hardly remember it. But the thing I remember the most about it is the feeling it gave me, and I was just like, I hate this. Like, I actively hate this movie, which is. I haven't said that about many movies, but that's one of them. So, yeah.
That's the only movie that I can really, really remember she fell asleep in. She was so pissed at me for making her watch it because I was doing an Exorcist franchise ranking, and we had to watch all the movies. And while we're watching this, the whole time she was like, I hate you. I hate you. The only other movie I could think of that we had that much disdain for as we were watching it was that April Fool's Day remake.
What?
April Fool's Day. Remember that remake?
I don't. I must have blacked that one out.
Remember April Fool's Day, where everybody's dying.
Oh,
The remake one?
Yeah, I did.
You
I
know, the
tried to
horror
figure
movie
it
where
out.
everybody is
Dang it.
dying.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, but no, we're watching
tried
this.
to erase
And
that.
as
Thank
we're
you.
watching this movie, she's like, how much longer?
And it was like 10 minutes had gone by, and yeah, it
Baby,
was
how much
horrible.
longer? It was, yeah.
Like, if you're doing that during a movie, like,
And Scout Taylor Compton's in it. Even Scout couldn't fix that movie.
No.
So that's saying something.
that movie sucked.
Yeah.
So how about you, Durden? What comes in number 3 for you, brother?
Amityville Horror. The first one was the original was good. The remake was good, but everything else was unnecessary. They just could have been generic haunted house movies.
For sure.
I agree with you 100%. How about you, Torian? What's number 3 for you?
The one we just got off of, The Exorcist. I just wanted to add one thing. Your wife's been saying all night, so things that should have been called something else. The Exorcist 2 should have been called something else because it should be completely not even in the lore, or like she said, on Earth, on anything, the stratosphere of the equator. It is the reason why they show this to kids. That like, you want to get film students scared straight, show them The Exorcist 2, and that's where I'm at with that.
I genuinely think between The Exorcist 2, the April Fool's Day remake, and the movie Bug, those are the 3 worst horror movies I've ever seen in my life. I can't fuck with any of them.
Just films, man. Don't even give them a genre. They're just bad films. Like everything you could have been. You're just bad at all the genres. It's just bad.
I agree with you 100%. It's the worst film I've ever seen. Number 3 for me is a film that has been talked about in the comments, but they didn't say that it didn't need any sequels. And I will say this, this is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, and it's Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood is so good, and it's goddamn, like one of the best anthology movies out there, one of the best movies out there. It has a great message to it, but it's definitely a horror movie first. Definitely has its comedy, but I'll always remember the first time I saw Welcome to Hell. It like scared me so bad. You know, as a child, you're scared of death. It's a foreign thing to you. You don't completely understand it. And watching the devil come to form, it was such a scary moment for me. One of the best endings of all time. Oh yeah, man. Then he reaches up and grabs him by the dick. And, oh my God.
Golden showers, and we didn't even know what those were back then. It's crazy.
Right. Right. And it's just what a fantastic movie. So I'm definitely gonna say number 3 for me is Tales from the Hood.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you?
Awesome. That was a good call.
Sorry, Anna, but my number 3 is Urban Legends.
No. It's
so
okay.
I don't know. I just felt like the second one had nothing to offer. Like the surprises, they weren't original, and
Ask her, Anna.
yeah, like because there's another one too after the second one. I can't remember what that one was called. I don't even think that went to theater. It was like,
I think it was Bloody Mary. I never saw it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like all of those could have just been standalone films. Like they really didn't have a whole lot to do with the first one. So that's just why.
I mean,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So proud of herself over here now.
I'm not.
All right. So we're gonna catch up on the chat real quick. Hey, always birthday wishes, man. You're a dude.
Absolutely.
3 Jaws. Hey, thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. April Fool's Day was dog shit. One of the worst remakes of all time. I'm glad that we weren't the only ones. I usually find that people overhype how bad the worst installments of a franchise are. Exorcist 2 was not one of those times. Absolutely miserable and felt like it was 4 hours long. I agree, Cody.
It was horrible.
100% agree. What's up, Nene? How you doing? Cody Leach the GOAT. I completely agree. One of the best. He's one of the best out there. Yes, I am talking about Bug with Ashley Judd. We did not like that movie. You want to tell him?
Oh, that was great.
I mean, we haven't seen it in a long time. That came out in like what, 07?
Dude, the movie
06?
We went and seen this in the
took
movie
too long to come out.
I was still in high school when we went and seen it.
And at the
Michael
end of the
Shannon.
movie ended, and we sat there, and this dude stood up in front of us, and he was like,
like,
"What the fuck?"
Like people wanted their money back. Like they wanted the theater to give their money back.
Yeah.
It was.
Wow.
I can just remember being like, "What did we just watch?"
And this guy was aggressive. It wasn't like, "Oh, what the fuck?" He was aggressive.
I want to watch it again though. Like now that I'm older,
yeah, he was angry. Yeah, oh, there was no stabby, no bloody blood. No, it was very thoughtful. It was a psychological thriller. It was done very. The performances, Ashley Judd and Michael Shannon they're so good in that.
Can we get past this so he can stop saying Ashley? He's way too close to me to be getting. He's getting this Ashley Judd thing.
No, Michael Shannon. If anything,
I specifically remember this guy standing up, saying, "What the fuck?" throwing his popcorn, going to the front
and asking
to the manager. No, he went to the front to the manager and was like, "Is there any way I could watch that again with director commentary to see if that makes it any better? I need to see
Mr. Sledge.
Mr. helps it hold up."
What I would like to know is this man that I've never met. This is the one thing that you're going to base the opinion on. I'm supposed to care.
No,
Give me something,
man. And right here, I agree.
It's the setup. Give me this back. That was a great setup, man. That was awesome.
That was
You
good
had me
setup.
fooled. I wasn't even in on this one. I was in on the other ones, but god damn, that was good.
Yeah, I was listening.
Just
Shit,
right
and
here,
the Oscar of the night goes to Kent. Shit.
I agree that Cody Leach is the YouTube GOAT. No offense to any other content creators. The best thing about Cody, and I'm not trying to be that guy right now, but no matter how big Cody has gotten, he has always made time for other content creators. If I ever hit a brick wall, Cody's one of the people that I hit up like, "Bro, how do you get through this? How do you get through that?" We've worked together numerous times. He's one of the people that is just genuine. When Cody went YouTube full time, I've never been happier for another human being that wasn't family in my entire life. No one deserves it more than Cody Leach. I'm going to say that right now. So we are. Did everybody do their number 3?
Yes.
I believe so.
All right,
Yes.
so
Now it's time to take a shit. Let's go.
yep. Now it's Durden starting us off with number 2.
Again, I don't like eating poo.
See what you did there.
My number 2 is Saw.
Oh, good.
And Saw is a lot like Paranormal Activity, and it was perfect on its own. The way that little twist at the end, the performances, it was very small scale and felt very personal. They made you feel like there was this big world happening outside of this room, but you never really went outside of it, and it was just done so well. And then it just, don't get me wrong, like they put a lot of time and effort into all the way they kill people and all the other Saws, and then going into the lore of Jigsaw and all that. Like they put work into it, but it doesn't really move me like the first one does.
Yeah.
And I again, I think Saw 3 is my favorite in that franchise, but I get where you're coming from. I if they would have never made another Saw movie, I wouldn't have been upset. That would have been a great standalone film. So great choice. How about you, Torian?
All right, so it's time to get real here. So I got 2 left, but we all do, but not you. Now there's content behind this, and I think, Ken, you know why. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Child's Play 2. It's my list. It's my list. I don't want Child's Play 2 because of what happened to me in Child's Play 1. So that's all that I am simply saying, that they should not be allowed to torture kids. I barely made it out, man. I mean, I'm surprised I'm here with you guys. So I just want to say this for the people who don't know. Anytime a doll can do something from The Exorcist and has no batteries in it, I'm leaving the fuck out of life in the room, and I didn't want another Child's Play. And they kept making them. They gave me the Bride. They gave me the Seed. I'm out, man. No, I'm done.
It's funny. And everybody's saying this. Like, I just want everybody to know that he's not saying this because he hates the rest of the franchise. He's saying this, and you'll be able to find out more when their episode of My First Horror Movie premieres next month. But he's saying this because Child's Play was his first horror movie, and the stuff that came along with that. He's not saying the other ones are bad. He's just saying how much the first one scared him.
Oh,
there were no batteries. There were no batteries in the doll.
There's no batteries in the doll.
See, I don't care. Listen, listen. You can, if it's a ventriloquist doll, I can see somebody's mouth moving. There's other dolls. It's a battery slot. That's what fucks you up, because there's slots for batteries, but there are none there. Like, why show me that?
My hang up on this, and I'm still hung up on this since our conversation with you, Ken, is that you act like a doll operating without batteries is the only paranormal like thing that has happened in a horror film. Like Freddy Krueger shouldn't have come back to life after being burned by all the parents. Pinhead, what the fuck is he even? Like none of these things are.
They all were murderers, but none of them had battery slots.
He requires batteries, and there's none in him.
I'm just saying, man, fucked you up as a kid.
I can fuck with you. Serial killer, I don't care. But if you have a battery slot with no batteries, we're done. We're done.
What are you doing here? You got a knife because you want to stab me. What are the slots for? I'm done.
So my number 2, I'm not going to go into a deep dive on this one just because everybody knows Jaws. Leave it alone. That it was said earlier. It's the perfect standalone film. Like, that is the one, besides my number 1, that I believe is just the perfect standalone film. You should have never touched it. I talked earlier about House not ever needing a remake. This is another one. Don't do it, because you're going to use CGI. You're going to show me a lot more of the shark, and you're going to ruin what the original had with that anxiety and that not knowing. There's nothing scarier than your imagination, and I don't want that ruined for me. And I don't need to hear a shark growl. I don't need to see it come at me in 3D and break I don't need any of that. I don't need it to follow a family through the current down to Africa, wherever the fuck South America, wherever the fuck they went. Africa. Yeah, they followed all the way over there. But follow to South America. I don't care. It's the worst thing ever. So number 2 for me is Jaws. Nice. What about you, love?
My number 2 is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
So you're also
I am
trying to take away my Rastafarian Jack Black.
That was,
Come on, man.
Like, it was literally the first movie just on vacation. Like okay, but still,
with
it was unnecessary, and I didn't feel like they needed to make it. You can cancel me. That's cool.
Wow. Somebody's on the sofa.
Yeah. I mean, the minor characters that they killed off.
I live there.
It looks good.
Anna, you want to give us your number 2?
Mine is the same as yours, Ken. It's Jaws. And I'm saying that without having actually seen any of the sequels. I just know they're not necessary. Like you said, it's a perfect standalone film. The shark dies at the end. You can take any movie and have it be a killer shark movie. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Jaws. So the fact that they had multiple after the original just, unnecessary. So
Well, I obviously can't
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
He froze. He can't what?
Now I'm
Durden, you're leaving me hanging.
Come back.
We're all under suspense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh. All right, well, while we're waiting for them to come back, I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. I see a lot of people not liking the what the fuck did I just hear? Calm down, Ashley. We're all friends here. See, I love Child's Play. I think Child's Play is my favorite horror franchise, if we're being honest. When it comes to continuity and staying within itself, I think it's one of the best out there. Maybe you could make the argument for Scream is up there, but Child's Play doesn't have any real fucking, shit movies like Freddy's Dead or Jason Takes Manhattan or Halloween 2 through 8. You don't have any of these real shitty movies in this franchise. So I can fuck with Child's Play. I like Child's Play a lot. Child's Play is why I love killer doll movies to this day. Me too. The Strangers and Sinister. The Strangers and Sinister shouldn't have had sequels. In fact, most of these horror movies don't need a sequel. I haven't seen the sequels of Psycho and Jaws for obvious reasons. I will tell you this, Michael. I really like the Psycho franchise. I think Psycho 2 and 3 are both very, very good movies. So I will die on the hill that I think Psycho. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Hey.
Jaws definitely. Oh, I love this. Oh shit, woman, that's cold.
You need to add that as a video reaction, Ken.
Right. I'm
Rastafari and Jack Black.
Texas Chainsaw 2 because of the whole feud with Ken and Caroline Williams. Brahms the boy too. I'm telling you, if you guys didn't know, I had this feud with Caroline Williams. It was pretty crazy.
What?
American Psycho. Name a horror movie that needs a sequel. Now, if you're asking for standalone films that needed sequels, I could actually give you a couple that I think would have been really, really good. I love the Friday the 13th sequel. I think the Friday the 13th sequel was very good. I think that Evil Dead 2 is much superior to the first one. Terminator 2 is better than the first one, in my opinion.
I feel like did we do this top 10?
Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah.
I feel, and I will die also on the hill that the Terminator is a slasher.
I think the horror film that I agree with you, Ken. The horror film that I'm most looking forward to that doesn't have a sequel yet, but has one coming out very soon is it's the Passion of the Christ Part 2. I can't remember what it's actually called, but that looks like it's gonna be sick. Jesus is in hell, like fighting demons and shit. That's gonna be wild. Mel Gibson is a shitty person.
Let this go for a few weeks, Ken.
Mel Gibson is a shitty person, but he can fight. He could choreograph a fight scene, and I don't even believe in Jesus, and the Passion of the Christ moved me to tears.
Let's see what you do.
You know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not going to get political or religious on here. I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I wouldn't say that I'm a Christian, but I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. And I fucking hated the Passion of the Christ. It was a fucking 2-hour snuff film. That's all it was to me. If I want to believe in Jesus Christ, I want to believe in him because of his message, not because of him getting beaten and dragged. I don't care about that. He did that. That's cool. I'm glad you did it because I like life. But I'm going to believe in you because of your message, not because I watch people beat the fuck out of you for 2 hours. Just my opinion.
So you haven't seen it with the commentary on. I got it.
Yes, he's come back. Yeah. And see, this is what I'm saying. The only watchable Jaws sequel is Jaws 2. Like I said, I even said that off the top. I don't think it's bad. But someone tried to remake the original and make it shitty. You didn't miss anything. No, honestly, you know what? You're talking about Child's Play. I love the fact that we're not all the same. I said that earlier. If we were all the same, these things would be fucking garbage. Everyone, please sub to the panel. I agree. I think American Werewolf in London could have actually been followed by a good sequel if it had not been for the CGI in Paris. I didn't even know they had a sequel to that movie. I prefer Strangers
Why
Pray
gotta
at Night.
lie?
Well, I mean, it's got Damien Maffei in Pray at Night. You got to. I'm excited for the new Strangers trilogy. I'm hoping they can do something fun with it.
Mhm.
Psycho is a very good franchise. You wouldn't expect Norman Bates to be such a fascinating character. I agree, Cody. I'm so glad that I have found very, very few people that agree with Ashley and I that the franchise is actually very, very good. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do now? I went into Psycho. Yeah, exactly. At first I thought you said Psycho 2 was the worst. I was like, what? That movie's so good. So yeah, guys, now we are going to go back onto our number 1. Now, what we're going to do here, just like always, we are going to count down our whole list from our honorable mentions all the way up to number 1 for people that came in a little bit late. And Torian, that'll be you starting us off. So if you wouldn't mind, do your honorable mentions all the way up to your number 1.
Well,
Sorry, you got to undo your stress ball, Jordan.
but no, I wish I had the stress balls as I was marking as we were, but it's okay.
Oh.
I get you. I'm just gonna take the old peepers off here real quick.
You should have mentioned
All right.
that.
Yes, wow, this happened
You
so
want-
fast.
You want me to help?
Yes. Could you go to my honorable, the ones that don't have numbers by them?
Oh, you don't have these numbered.
I
No, I can't help
know
you.
it's a cipher. So you know what? You start, and I'll come to you. Durden start, and then I'm coming in. There we go. Give them your honorable mentions.
All right. 2 honorable mentions. Hocus Pocus 2, preemptively. Scream. Number 10, Paranormal Activity. Number 9, Final Destination. Number 8, 28 Days Later. Number 7, Candyman. Number 6, Halloween, not Halloween Town. Team Halloween Town. Number 5, A Quiet Place. Number 4, Psycho. 3, Amityville Horror. 2, Saw. And you want me to say number one right now?
Yep.
Jaws. For all the reasons that we mentioned already.
Was that the one? Did everybody have that on their list? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think-
That's consensus.
Everybody
Okay.
had it.
Consensus.
yeah,
I think that, and well, I think Exorcist was that a consensus too, or
it was
will it?
on
No,
mine.
I didn't have it.
Oh, right. Ken didn't have it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did
I
have
will
it.
say this. Nobody on the panel has my number 1 yet. Nobody has said it.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
As soon as he figures out what his number 1
Dude, I'm
is,
just gonna
he's
be. You
in
know, this
your
is so me
face.
right now. So just forgive me, man. Dude, you should. I need to read the instructions next time because I've been marking all through. So I'm just gonna go. These were my films. All right, and then I'll start it. Yeah. Okay. So on my tablet cipher thing that okay, I'm going. All right, here we go. From Dusk Till Dawn at some point. Fly 2, Jeepers Creepers, The Exorcist, Jaws, Zombieland 2, Scream 2. These are all 2s, by the way. Child's Play, Tremors. Yeah, that might have been one of those. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Blair Witch Project, easy boy. And my number one, and like Ken said, no one said this movie tonight, and I want to be very specific. I'm taking my liberty here to do this. The title of this segment was called "Films That Should Have Never Gotten Sequels." Now we've all named most sequels because they were horrible, but this one is a caveat. It's the flip side of that coin. Cloverfield. And you know why that sequel should have never been made? Because the first one sucked ass.
Nope.
I hated it. I
Nope.
hate you. No, you know. I hated it. First off, because I'll be honest, when I watch the screen shake the whole time, it fucks my head up. It fucks everything. I'm like, nah, man. And then talk about a reveal that wasn't worth it. Ugh. Like, oh, here comes the monster. Here comes, is that Godzilla? Is that a Transformer? Is that a big gremlin? They throw a lot of water on it this time. That shit sucked, man. I hated it. I walked out. I tried to go back. I was like, nah, no. So Cloverfield. And so not shitting on Cloverfield 2. Not even when John Goodman came on, all that stuff later. The first one is asinine, and I hate it. With passion. Of Christ. Talk about a 2-hour beatdown. Yeah, there you go. All right. Peter,
Okay.
didn't see that coming.
We didn't.
All right, Kim.
Surprise.
Oh.
Anna knows it's coming.
Didn't see it coming, did you?
All right. So here we go. My list. My honorable mentions. Sleepaway Camp, Amityville Horror. Number 10, The Ring. Number 9, Sinister. Number 8, A Quiet Place. Number 7, Carrie. Number 6, Sometimes They Come Back. Number 5, Candyman. Number 4, House. Number 3, Tales from the Hood. Number 2, Jaws. And the movie that should have never, ever been had a sequel to it, because it's a perfect movie, and the sequel is complete dog shit. American Werewolf in London is my number one. American Werewolf in Paris is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. How are you going to take a movie with the literal best werewolf transformation of all time and turn it into what you did in American Werewolf in Paris? How are you going to take the true love story that was American Werewolf in London and then do what you did in American Werewolf? They got to fuck to get it. Stop it. American Werewolf in Paris is ass crack. Like that movie is the movie embodiment of the human centipede, with me having to eat my own shit and then shit my own shit into me watching that movie. That's how I felt. I hate American Werewolf in Paris as much as I love American Werewolf in London. And now there are talks of Landis's son doing a remake. And if anybody is going to remake American Werewolf in London, I would love for it to be Landis's son, because I feel like he will show appreciation and love to the practical effects. I mean, in the Creepshow TV series, I don't know if you guys watched that, but we did get a Nazi werewolf episode, which I thought was super dope because it was such a cool callback to American Werewolf in London. But it's just really, really heartbreaking to watch American Werewolf in Paris after you watch the amazing film that is an American Werewolf in London. So number one for me had to be American Werewolf in London.
Nice.
What's your list, babe?
I liked it.
You like
I really did. I would
He
say
liked
it's dog shit compared to the original, but I enjoyed it. I like Tom Everett Scott. I thought it was a fun ride.
Eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that you said?
I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. I can't help what I like.
He has to stay true to himself. Okay.
Right. I'll try to watch it with the commentary on it. You want to give us your list, babe?
Yeah, so my honorable mention was Pet Sematary. 10 is American Psycho. 9, Jaws. 8, Exorcist. 7, Amityville. 6, Blair Witch. 5, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 4, Leprechaun. 3, Urban Legends. 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And my number 1 is The Fly. I absolutely love the first one, the remake. And I don't know, the second one just seemed really unnecessary. What did it really have to do with the first one, except for it was Seth Brendel's son? Besides that, it seemed, I don't know, it was like the same formula again, copy paste, like
100% unnecessary when you had the first one. Because another thing that people know about me, I'm a huge love guy.
Yeah,
I think love is the coolest thing in the whole world, and when I can watch a great love story,
and
The Fly is one of the best of all time.
I absolutely love that movie, and the second one is crap.
When Gina Davis is, has to kill Seth. Oh my God, that scene, man, it's so heavy.
Right
dude.
here and now, I want to agree with you, Ken, and I don't care who knows it. I also am pro love.
Yeah,
bold statement.
I mean, I love is so dope, dude. Like, it's so cool. Like, I was lucky. I think love is so cool that I found a girl that was willing to show it to me, and I got to the point where I was like, hey, if you want to leave, you got to get a lawyer and sign some papers and do all this shit. So you might as well just stick around.
I do get what you're saying, though. The way Gina Davis looks at Jeff Goldblum's deformed, decrepit body at the end is what makes that movie so powerful.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you look like that, I would probably shoot you.
You'd shoot me right now if you had the chance.
As you should.
He was coming at me like a fly. Screaming about director commentary.
He just vomited up his own food. Like, nah, I'm good.
All right, good list, baby.
Thanks.
Even though House wasn't on it. How about you, Anna? You want to give us your list?
Yes. So I did not have any honorable mentions. 10 was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 9, Sleepaway Camp. 8, Silent Night, Deadly Night. 7, The Human Centipede. 6, Carrie. 5, The Descent. 4, Blair Witch Project. 3, The Exorcist. 2, Jaws. And number 1 is American Psycho. And like we talked about before, the fact that it was just a random script that was slapped with the title American Psycho 2, and the way that they tried to tie it to the original was like the most paper thin plot point, like a 12-year-old girl can kill Patrick Bateman. And also, why is the babysitter bringing the kid she's babysitting on a date? But I don't know.
Yeah.
That aside, it's a terrible movie in general. Like, no redeeming qualities at all. Maybe William Shatner. He's kind of fun in it, but other than that, the first one is just almost a perfect movie in my eyes. So the fact that they have that abomination of a movie with the title of the sequel is just, yeah. So
I have one question for you, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
Let me moonwalk out of this.
Hey guys, can we wrap this up? I got some videotapes to return.
I gotta return some videotapes. So guys, I do want to thank you all for coming on. Now, just like always, before we exit out of here, I am gonna catch up on the chat real quick. Cloverfield is trash. Basura.
Yes, yes. Subscribing to your channel now. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Ginger snaps, very nice. This is how powerful nostalgia could be. I saw American Werewolf in Paris in theaters as a kid and loved it. As an adult, I can't help but enjoy it as a guilty pleasure. Be gentle, Ken. Sorry, buddy.
He's like, that piece of shit.
I know. He's like, it's the last time I work with this son of a bitch. Yeah, I agree with this. Scream is one of the very few horror franchises that is consistent in quality.
Yeah.
It's very hard. Even Scream 3, like people bitch about Scream 3, just like people bitch about Child's Play, Seed of Chucky. What was that? 5? Like, if that's the worst film in your franchise, you're doing great. Because
like the
Scream
film
3
quality didn't get worse. Sure, I agree with that, but the writing and the acting and the overall care and concern for storytelling, that kind of, took a deep dive into dog shit.
That took a hit. But I love all the Scream movies, just like I love all the Child's Play movies. I got to be honest with you. I do adore them all.
Yeah.
I met Landis. He signed my DVD cover of Blues Brothers Coming to America and Oscar. That's dope, man. Yeah, I would love to meet Rick Baker. I would love to meet him. No one mentioned The Howling. Funny, somebody in the chat did. Everybody's looking.
Doesn't mean like in a plane?
What did I just read?
Like he's like to fly in a plane too, or no? I know that's not what he's saying. No.
We got another American Psycho 2. Totally back when the whole American Psycho talk. I like the first American Psycho a lot. I met Linda Blair, Katie Wynn, and William Friedkin. That would be sick to meet William Friedkin, especially. Okay, now before we let everybody go, we're gonna start with What a Ghoul Wants. Anna, can you tell us what you have coming up on the channel for our viewers here?
I'm gonna do another episode of Redemption Rewatch, and this is gonna be a movie that you can have recently come around on.
I know what it is.
Right, if anybody knows, it's gonna be a doozy, and I'm kind of dreading rewatching the movie, but I'm gonna do it. So
I'm excited.
Other than that, yeah, I'm probably gonna try to do another live stream here soon. I want to try to do a this or that, like where you pick between one of two things. So if anybody wants to give me suggestions for that, if you're watching on the rewatch in the comments, I would love to know. So yeah,
awesome,
cool.
You set the date and we'll be there. I can't wait to watch. I love when you do your live stream.
Thanks.
I love Don't Breathe too. You're right, J-Dev. I do love that movie. What about you guys? That's the fucking trailer. What do you guys have coming up?
Take us away, Dave.
Who did we do? I got 5 on it for.
Why would you ask me?
The last one.
They gave you such a great
intro. Tell them about the segment what we're doing.
All right, there's a segment called I Got 5 on it, and where we bring 5. You have it up now, don't you?
No. Tell them what we do. I got 5.
Listen, what we have coming up is a segment. First off, we had a lot coming up. Hey, if you haven't seen the review on Prey, there is a Royals Raw review on Prey that dropped a few days ago, guys. Please go check that out. It's not your typical review, but you have a hell of a time. I'll just tell you that right now. Now you go, Dave.
So tomorrow we're doing I Got 5 on it, where we take our top 5 of any particular category. Tomorrow we're doing Edward Norton. I believe it is his birthday. That's why we scheduled it for today.
Top 5 Edward Norton films.
And then coming up next Thursday, we'll be interviewing Larry Hankin, who is in like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Billy Madison, Breaking Bad, and the Tuesday the 30th, we got a new segment coming out called Story Time with David McGiffert, where he has a new book. He's the assistant director on like Rain Man and Back to the Future and Vanilla Sky. He worked with a lot of great filmmakers, and he wrote a book called Best Seat in the House. We got like a copy of the book before it's published, and each week or once a month we pick out a few stories and kind of dig a little bit deeper into the like these little anecdotes that happen on the set of these crazy films. So those things are coming up this month.
Nice.
And before I just want to end it, if we have anything else to say, closing statement is just watch Blair Witch 2, and judge it for yourself, people.
If you take anything away from this live stream.
Yes.
Right. And if you don't like it, rewatch it with the commentary.
Exactly. And a composition notebook.
Coming up on Sledgehammer Horror, this week on Friday, we have our very special episode of Didn't See That Coming on Orphan, in honor of Orphan First Kill being released on Friday. On Saturday, we have an interview with Black Lagoon TV, and you guys are going to want to check that out because you can win VIP tickets to Halloween Horror Nights, all expense paid, out to California to be a part of Halloween Horror Nights, and you guys can check that out. Saturday, that interview will be live. So make sure you're checking that out for your ways to get there or to get 20% off merchandise of Black Lagoon TV and Halloween Horror Nights. So it's very exciting. Next week, we have our My First Horror Movie on Monday with who is on Monday? The cast and crew of the film Aphasia. On Wednesday, we have Tyrone Williams, who is an amazing Instagram presence. And then on Friday, we have Mike the Movie Misfit. So that's kind of what we have coming up. And our live next week is I'm trying to see, guys. I'm sorry. I did all this so quickly. Our live next week is going to be our top 10 Blumhouse films. And we'll be joined by Rhine 1988 and the Lost River Drive-In. So make sure you come out and hang out with us for that. See what our top 10 Blumhouse films are. I am going to catch up on the chat real quick one more time before we let everybody go. Where did I go? I lost it. I think everyone should think about how good Scream 2 is and take Scream off the list.
I was waiting for that, yeah.
I was waiting for J-Dev too.
Yeah.
What's going on, Craven? How you doing, buddy? I didn't like the first Blair Witch. That's fair. So again, guys, I do want to say thank you everybody for coming out. I know that sometimes you have other things to do on a Wednesday night, but for you guys to come out and spend your time hanging out with us, and not just that, but you guys on the panel, Anna, Durden, Torian, for you guys to all come out here and hang out with us. This was so cool, man. I love being able to hang out with you guys. Even though I bust your balls a lot, I do enjoy your guys' company and being able to hang out and kick it with you guys. So don't go anywhere, guys. I got a story to tell you. Everybody else, as always, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.